Hey guys, I'm Daisho and I'm here bringing you some magic, and today I'm going to be playing some Guardians of the Light. This hand's okay. It's not really as aggressive as I normally like to be, but there are 6 4-drops that I can draw in the 4 Armored Ascensions and the 2 Angelic Destinies. And if he doesn't kill my Johnny Sunstriker, then I'll be okay. And my opponent leads off with an island, and it looks, well, I guess I don't really know. It could be from Masks of Demir or Mind Maze, but anyway, we're looking okay here. I mean, we got a Mesa Enchantress too, and I still have Pacifism, Pariah, and even Thought Scour. So he is playing Masks of Demir. Interesting. If I were him, I probably would have Thought Scoured after playing, or before playing the island. So him playing Masks of Demir is kind of a double-edged sword, because first of all, it does let me get set up, so I can drop my Mace Enchantress and hopefully my Sigil of the Empty Throne before I'm under enough pressure that I need to cast my enchantment, since both of the enchantments in my hand are pretty defensive. Oh, we lost a Daybreak Coronet. What's going on here? Alright, and we've got Pacifism and Pariah, which are both pretty defensive enchantments. I'm just clicking on this, but it's not doing anything. Both are pretty defensive, so... Oh, God. That's annoying. Anyway, they're both pretty defensive so that we can survive a while, even though we don't have too much offensive pressure going on. And hopefully I can get set up, drop the Sigil of the Empty Throne, Mace Enchantress to draw some cards, and yeah, hopefully we'll be able to get there. Oh, there's a Griffin Guide. Probably just going to toss it on here. He doesn't have a Last Gasp open, otherwise I probably wouldn't have done that. There's a Dawn Elemental off the top, which is not terrible. I mean, it looks like my opponent was probably just dead anyway because he didn't draw any lands, but that doesn't make for too much of an interesting game. But, I mean, you do get to see the power of this deck. Like, it could have really is he playing mono blue? It could have really faced down anything that my opponent would have had to offer. Since I do have those defensive enchantments, I want to save them for after I drop Sigil, but I could have played them at any time for great effect. There's an Angelic Destiny. So, there is a possibility that we just win the game next turn. Not that high. Actually, never mind. There's no possibility. Alright, we're just going to sleep. Not a big deal. There is a Skyhunter Skirmisher. Sure. And just to finish this game off quicker, I'm just going to Pacifism my Maze Enchantress to get a 4/4 and draw a card. There's a Daybreak Coronet. This does not look like it. Oh, this. From here it looks like a butterfly, but I guess it looks more like an angel from there. Yeah, I can just drop Angelic Destiny on this thing, swing for 10 with just that. If I draw another land, I can swing for 10 with this as well. Oh, there's also just this thing. Make another 4/4 flyer. Yeah, I mean, if I was playing against a really aggressive deck, I definitely could have lost. Or if my opponent had like time ebbs at the right time, I guess, then I could have lost. But I don't know. I think that I pretty much had this game in the bag from the start. Unfortunately, my opponent did get screwed on colors. Couldn't draw any black sources, so not the most ideal way to see how this game would have gone. But you know, what can you do? That does happen occasionally. Not sure, maybe my opponent just shouldn't have kept the hand. But, I mean, if he had, like, 2 or 3 islands and a Thought Scour... Was he on the play or the draw? He was on the draw. Then I could definitely see why he would have kept that hand. It's not like it's completely wrong or anything. Alright, Hazen. Go ahead and start up. Ready up. Trying to decide what deck to play against the most powerful Daisho. Alright, so I'm on the play. I got a couple of 2-drops, only 2 lands, but I mean, that's all you really need with all these 2-drops, right? This is looking okay. I'm kind of hoping that my opponent's on an aggressive plan. That way I can actually just go ahead and Pacifism one of his early threats, draw a card with my Spirit Dancer. It should be pretty good. I really hope he doesn't have a Lord of the Unreal. That is a main issue for this deck, is there's absolutely no way to deal with a Lord of the Unreal. This is so good, so close to being an amazing combo. Nomad Mythmaker and basically any aura against Mind Maze, because but it says you have to put it attached to a creature you control, so I can't just keep shoving it on their creatures, making them sacrifice and die. But we're gonna get some value next turn out of our pacifism. Just straight up kill something and draw a card. Luckily, he did not drop a Lord of the Unreal, which leads me to believe he doesn't have one. And there's another pacifism. So, I mean, hopefully these pacifisms will be able to fuel each other, so that I'll just be able to keep machine gunning his creatures down. And what I mean by that is that hopefully I'll keep drawing more pacifisms or more auras that I can keep playing, and then drawing cards off the core Spirit Dancer, which will draw me into more, so I can actually just kill his entire side. But yeah, I mean, I would really like to see an Illusionary Servant here. There's a Lord of the Unreal, so I don't know what he was doing last turn, but maybe he just drew it. Still, I can drop Pacifism and a Johnny Sunstriker here, though if I do draw like a bigger thing, then I might want to do that. Maybe he just wanted to leave Unsummon open. There's always that possibility. I don't know why he wouldn't just charge in right here. But yeah, there's not much I can do about Lord of the Unreal except try and race it. And I mean, I have a reasonable ability to race with Sunstriker already as lifelink. This thing can give my Spirit Dancer lifelink, and if I can find a turn when he's tapped out, I can just drop a couple of auras on it. But let's see what we got here. Another land. So first things first, the play here is going to be a Johnny Sunstriker and Pacifism. So we're just going to Pacifism that thing, draw cards, see what we get. Another land. Alright, so we need to draw one of the 4-drop auras here. Yeah, I can give his Lord of the Unreal a lot of powers. But anyway, we're down to 15. We're going to be down to 12. He's still got 4 cards in hand. This is really just not the kind of position that I want to be in against that deck. Once they drop Lord of the Unreal, it's very, very hard to win, because I can, like, my creatures aren't big enough to block theirs. He has Unsummons and Frost Breaths, Claustrophobias, all for really nice tempo plays that I can't do much about, and he just kind of 2-for-1s me every time that happens. So there's just a lot of it's just really hard in a lot of situations to win this matchup. Before they get Lord of the Unreal, it's my matchup. It's so hard for them to win, because almost all, or like half the spells in my deck are just removal spells. They kill his creatures, so I can just wipe the board of his creatures right away. But once he does get Lord of the Unreal, then I can't touch any of his creatures, and all of his creatures are going to be bigger than mine. And I have no way of removing Lord of the Unreal from the board. The best I can do is pacify it. And there's definitely, I mean, it's pretty obvious that I should pacify it, because there are no more pacifism targets in his deck. Because obviously you can't target something with hexproof. But yeah, I mean, I really just need to find a way to make my Spirit Dancer bigger. And he's been playing this entire game with 1 mana up, which really, really leads me to believe that he's got... Yeah. Really leads me to believe that he's got an Unsummon, but at the same time, there's not really much I can do about it. I kind of just have to play straight into it. But we need to draw something good here. That's not what I wanted to see. Just going to drop another creature down, and... Yeah, I mean, it's not the biggest deal, because I wanted to be able to drop Daybreak Coronet on the same turn as a 4-drop anyway. So now I just really need to draw a 4-drop. And he's just got a Blind Phantasm? That's not that good. Alright, but he is going to... Well, I mean, I guess if he attacks with this bear, then I'll double block it. And then if he wants to burn the Unsummon on that, then I can definitely get some advantage over that. Alright, so he doesn't have an Unsummon. Or if he does, then he's smart and he's saving it for the right situation. Yeah, we're just getting flooded out here. I mean, let's see, we drew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spells and 8 lands. I mean, those kind of games just, they do occasionally happen. You could make an argument that I should have played Daybreak Coronet on this just to draw a card and try and draw a 4-drop. And it's probably correct, but the way I see it is that if I can get... It's just going to unsummon. Oh man, that is bad. Well, it's not that bad. And Frost Breath. Okay, so that is pretty good. But is that his last card in hand, or does he have one more? He's got one more. So Alright, he's going to hit me for 7 here. Yeah, that was actually a decent play, other than the fact that he could have just Frost Breathed. But yeah, I mean, I'm still live to drawing a Griffin Guide or a Guardian's Mage Mark. Or, no, I don't have that one in. Unquestioned Authority. Armored Ascension, no! I'm 1 mana away from that being useful. Well, I mean, I can always hope that my opponent's bad. If he had done it the other way, I would have just been able to do this. Ugh, I don't even have lifelink in the deck, so that's not a possible draw. Alright. Yeah. It was a nice play on my opponent's part. He really played this game pretty well up until the unsummon. It sort of seemed like... Oh, and he's got another Frost Breath. Yeah, I think he really just had the ideal hand for beating me. Like, with 3 tempo spells, aggressive creatures, and a Lord of the Unreal, as well as this flyer that I just couldn't deal with, there's really no way that I could have won this game. And it's a little disappointing when that happens, but I mean, that's the nature of a game where there's 10 decks. Some of them are going to beat the other ones 9 times out of 10. Although I don't even think that that's true. I think that my deck can definitely beat Mind Maze a good portion of the time. It just if there is a perfect draw on the other side on Mind Maze, then I can't win. If there's a perfect draw on my side, then he can still win, because he has ways to interact with my deck, whereas mine can't really interact with his once he's got a Lord of the Unreal out. But, you know, I mean, that's just the nature of the game. So, alright, are we going to get a Chant gameplay? Nope, random deck. Cool story. I can definitely, oh, this is a sweet one. I can definitely get behind going with random deck. That's pretty cool. I mean, like, at some point you've just played in so many games in Duels of the Planeswalkers that random deck is really the best way to go. Alright, he's going to lead off with a Selfless Cathar. So, I mean, we saw he had the random deck going, so he just got randomly rolled onto Avacyn's Glory. It's not like he was purposefully trying to be a jerk or anything. And, man, if I just draw some lands, this hand is going to be as good as it possibly can be. So, yeah, next turn, he just leaves mana up. I think I'm just going to drop the Skirmisher. No, that's not true. I lied. Alright, it doesn't matter. He didn't leave mana up. So, I mean, I can drop the Spirit Mantle, draw a card, get my 3 damage in. If he's got a Fiend Hunter next turn, that's fine. I'll have drawn the card off it, and even though I can't get rid of Fiend Hunter, I think it'll... Oh, wait, no, he can't Fiend Hunter it even, because it's going to have pro creatures. There's a Mesa Enchantress. Definitely an argument can be made for playing Mesa Enchantress here, but the main reason why I'm doing it this way is because I get an extra draw step before I... Well, actually, never mind. I can just play Daybreak Coronet on this. I don't even need to drop Armored Ascension on it. The funny thing about Daybreak Coronet is it like the idea behind it is putting all your eggs in one basket, but it's so worth it. If you can get one hit with this thing in, you just gain so much advantage over them. So right now my opponent is basically live to drawing Path to Exile, 1 of 3, or Oblivion Ring, 1 of 2. So I definitely like my chances here, but that being said, still like 5 out of what is he running, 64 cards or something like that? It's definitely still a pretty distinct possibility. So he just didn't play anything here. I'm not just gonna play right into it. I'm just gonna attack. And if he's got a path for me, he's got a path. If not, I can still lay this Mesa Enchantress or the Skyhunter Skirmisher. I think I'll drop Mesa Enchantress because I think that I'm really far away from losing this game. And if my opponent makes some good plays, then he can get out of it. But he just didn't have anything. I really expected him to have a Path to Exile. That deck usually... Okay, he's just going to tap out here. Okay. He may as well attack with both of them. I can just... block 1. He should have attacked before he played his creature, because then, well, I guess I could still just block the Selfless Cathar, so it wouldn't really have mattered. But he's not even going to attack. Alright, buddy. So, I think we're just going to go ahead and Coronet up, hit him for 8. Oh, wait, come on, give me a land, give me a land, give me a land! Oh, man. Alright, and then, yeah, just hit him for 8 Vigilance, Lifelink, First Strike, whatever. Protection from creatures. Can't really do much about that, can you? And then we're going to get this Ajani Sunstriker down, so next turn I have lethal in 2 forms, because this thing will just straight up kill him, and I can just drop an Armored Ascension on this. That'll be at least 6. If I draw another land, it'll be more. But yeah, I actually could have... Oh no, I wouldn't have even killed him last turn. I would have just taken him to 2. If I had drawn the land for the Griffin Guide, it would have been +2, and then plus another 2. So he would have been down to 2 life. Yeah, Geist Honored Monk. Not that good here. Does absolutely nothing. Even if he attacks with this, he won't gain the life back because I'll just block this. It doesn't deal any damage to me, so he can't get any life. And that'll be some destruction. Alright, I mean, there's no reason to do anything. No, I could do everything. No, I could drop Griffin Guy, or I can drop... it doesn't even matter. Like, this game's over. He basically conceded by playing a 5-drop, which means that he doesn't have a Path to Exile, which I figured he didn't have when he didn't do anything to my guy. So, yeah. Alright, that was a good one. Hopefully, he's going back to random. And let's try one more game. This will probably be the last one. I don't like this hand. I don't have any 2-drop creatures. All I have are 3 drops, and I only have 2 lands. I do have a pacifism. It's not that bad, to be honest, but I'll keep this one. I don't have any auras right now, but I know he's not playing Absence Glory because it's a different number of cards in the deck. Ooh, that is actually an interesting card to play against me. And this is not the good one. Dawn Elemental is the card that just basically wins me the match. But yeah, he's playing... Oh, he might be playing Enter the Dracomancer. Or Firewave. I mean, I know it's one of the two. Firewave, okay. So a Griffin Guide here would be clutch. That would get my guy up to being a 4/6 and basically out of burn range. But it's okay. We'll get over it. I mean, we're curving out into a 3 dreams. We've got 3 dudes. He can kill them all, but it'll be somewhat difficult. And then once I do get my 3 dreams off, one of them can be a Daybreak Coronet, and another one can be like an Angelic Destiny or a Armored Ascension, something like that. Once I get an Armored Ascension on a creature, it's basically unkillable. Yep, he's running Staff of the Flame Mages. So, yeah, I mean, every once in a while you run into players who may not have all their decks optimized. We'll leave it at that. Drawing some lands, but that was the good part about this hand, is that it is, what is that word that I wanted to use? It is flood-proof. Can't flood out too badly because I'm going to turn 3 dreams into 3 cards that will each individually win me the game, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, this is the only card that's left in the deck that makes me want to run Lifelink, because if I play this, then the next turn I can play Sigil of the Empty Throne and Lifelink. But now, as it stands, there's no 1-drops. I wish that they gave this deck some Umbra. Hyena Umbra, like 2 or 3 or even 4 of them, I think I would be okay with. Yeah, that is some combos. Staff of the Flame Mages and Pilgrim's Eye. Even though you don't get the life off of the Pilgrim's Eye because it's not red, you get a mountain. It's pretty clutch. All right, so we drew 1 spell this game. But all right, so as I said, I'm just going to get Armored Ascension, confirm. Daybreak Coronet, confirm. Should I get like another Armored Ascension? Or an Angelic Destiny? I guess I can't get 2 Armored Ascensions. Yeah. I guess 3 dreams only lets you get auras. I didn't even realize that. I was thinking that I could get Sigil of the Empty Throne with 3 dreams, but it's only auras. It's not just any enchantment. Because that would be a little bit more powerful, but I mean, yeah, they don't usually just let you tutor 3 cards for 5 mana. You look at Diabolic Revelation, it costs 8 mana to do that. Cone of Flame. That's pretty good. 1 to me, 2 to my Spirit Dancer, 3 to my face. Unfortunately for him, I'm going to be able to just make a giant creature next turn. And he gains a life. But yeah, I mean, as I was saying, he just can't deal with a creature that's what is it going to be? It's going to get +6. It's going to be 8. An 11/11? Like, how are you going to beat that? 11/11 lifelink? Pretty sure that deck has no way to beat it. So, this deck is definitely interesting. Sometimes you just play completely non-interactive games. Sometimes they're super interactive, but past 2 have been completely uninteractive. First one obviously was weird because it was just mana screw, but then the second one wasn't very interactive. Post Lord of the Unreal, he just swept me, so this definitely is a build your win condition deck that sometimes works and sometimes just doesn't. Yeah, I mean, he's got to have is there even enough burn in this deck? I don't have pro creatures, do I? May have been an oversight. I probably should have gotten a Spirit Mantle instead of the second Angelic Destiny, just so that I could straight up win the game without him being able to do anything about it. But I can still play these 2 next turn. There's another Seraph of the Sword. Seraph of the Sword is not too relevant here, but yeah, I definitely should have just gotten a Spirit Mantle as my 3rd card, or the one that draws me a card, but I just should have gotten something that gives me protection so that I could have just won. I don't know why he's blocking with Magma Phoenix. It literally just kills his guy. Both of his guys, I mean. Now let's just drop this thing and give it Angelic Destiny. I would have done... Yeah, I would have done it the other way, except now he can't really burn it. He would have been able to burn the Seraph of the Sword if I just dropped that. Oh man, he can return his Magma Phoenix to hand. That'll be quite the play. That's the biggest problem with Magma Phoenix, is when it's not really good, it just absolutely does nothing. Like right there, it chump blocked and killed all of his guys and dealt damage to him. Oh man, Regathan Firecat. Alright, so hopefully we draw another 4-drop enchantment to just end it here. Or we can just draw in, no big deal. It really is not a big deal though, that's a funny thing. I mean, just this one card, or this 1/3 combination of cards, any creature, Armored Ascension, and Daybreak Coronet is kind of unbeatable. And next turn, even if he does, well, I guess he could have a mountain and a spell. And no, a mountain and 2 spells. No, he can't win this one. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. Man, it's really depressing watching that burn deck in action. Like, it doesn't even have a way of killing a 6/6 without, like, 3-for-1ing itself. So disappointing. Like, the old burn deck could, like, Searing Spear and Searing Blaze it, deal 6 damage, or like Flames of the Firebrand and Searing Blaze, and yeah, you get like a 1.5-for-1, but at least you can kill it. Alright, and should be able to just swing in here for lethal, barring my opponent cheating and playing an instant speed destroy all creatures for 2 mana. But, yeah, I think that's pretty much going to be it for the Guardians of Light gameplay. I didn't get too much. That's just like, oh, well, now I know that my deck is amazing. I'm just all of a sudden aware that it's unbeatable. But I think that the deck is built pretty well, and maybe not perfectly. Like, I think if I wanted to spend the next week testing this deck, playing it for 3 hours a day, against all types of decks, finding perfect players who I can have help me test, then maybe I could get it a little bit better. But for the most part, this deck is definitely pretty sweet, and it's pretty well built. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a wonderful day. Bye.